Hey guys, check this out. So, I ain't been on here in a minute, you feel me? Um, I've been working a lot and taking care of my family or what have you. But, here's the thing. So, I'm in the kitchen and I am about to wash dishes. And this song just pops in my head. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So I'm just singing it in my head. So all of a sudden, I'm just like, I start thinking about my pastor. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm just like, he never said hallelujah. Every once in a while, he would always say, hallelujah, hallelujah. And I didn't understand it until I was in the kitchen. Y'all, the people, I'm I'm in my 50s. If you in your 40s, me late 40s, early 50s, 60s, and 70s, just think back when we was in church and the pastors would be like, hallelujah. They might say hallelujah every once in a while. This is what the download that I just got. They knew his name was Yah. They actually knew. This is crazy. That's why they would be like, hallelujah, hallelujah. They would never say his name. Think about this, y'all. When we had shut-ins, think back. Friday night, after church, we having a shut-in. We praying. The kids is praying. Everybody praying. How many of y'all remember seeing the Shekinah glory come down like a white mist that everybody see? What we didn't know is that we had tapped into our Paleo Hebrew language. I haven't posted in years. That's crazy. That is crazy. That don't even make no sense. That's why if you think back, when we always said hallelujah and we sang it on key, off key, in pitch, out of pitch, y'all remember God always moved in a real mighty way? And then when we had the revival joints, when they would come in all week and we was praising him. See, the Most High, he's smart. He's smart. Here's the key. All you have to do is remember. God always moved in a mighty way in black churches and not white churches. I'm sorry to say, but he always has. Everything in a white church, if you think about it, they've been exposed. Everything in the white church is scripted. I've been to several, and I was just like, what? The spirit ain't even right in here. The atmosphere is like crazy retarded. It didn't make sense. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. For real. It makes a lot of sense now. I was in the kitchen. I'm telling y'all. When it hit me Like you could feel it in your bones, like my literal fucking bones. I was just like, what? Huh? I didn't. I didn't understand. Like, I know I ain't retarded. I know I ain't crazy. This is crazy. Think about this. Whenever word got out, God is moving over there, people are doing this in our communities, somehow we would have to carry the revival over for another week, and it always ended up being 2 weeks. Because that second week, you going to see somebody who don't look like anybody else in that crowd there spectating, because they know who we are. We don't know. They know who we are. These people come in there in them suits. Soon as they get in there, they probably stick their hand in their joint, you know, in their inside pocket in the suit. Y'all know, fellas. Hit record on that little recorder. And when people start speaking in tongues, they recording it so they can go back and try to decipher what's being said. Every time, the late Bishop Newton had a revival for a week and all the pastors and churches was coming, every time there was always somebody who didn't look like us sitting there looking around. He's mic'd. He is mic'd. Or he got a wire on him and they recording somewhere. Because he know who we are. They know. They know. This is crazy. The pastors are being told if you say his name, then you got to pay this fine or you got to pay this. So they stop when they sing, when he at home, when these pastors is at home with they kids, y'all say this, don't say that. Because you know it becomes a habit. This is crazy. Oh, man. They knew. They freaking knew, man. They knew. They knew. This is retarded. That's why you would hear these pastors saying, hallelujah. Because they knew if they said hallelujah, eventually we was going to catch on to what we were saying. Be blessed.